All right, you guys, welcome back this week to the Love Frequency podcast where we turn pain into power. And this week we're going to talk about healing. Everyone's healing journey is different, but I know it's not easy for a lot of people to heal, but I kind of want to talk about that this week. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, so welcome back. To piggyback on what I said last week, that kind of plays into what we're going to talk about this week regarding healing is rebounding. I mentioned last week, and if you guys watch that video, the full video is uploaded on YouTube. It's okay to rebound as long as it's genuine. But I feel like the topic for this week is most people don't rebound out of being genuine or being authentic. That's why it's called a rebound, so that you can heal from whatever it is that you're healing from. Not everybody can handle heat. Not everyone can handle healing through being alone, or not everyone have to heal through pain. So a lot of times people put a bandaid on situations, and you know what? That's okay. We got one life to live. If that's how you handle things, then it's okay. There's no right or wrong way to do things. But all I'm saying is that sometimes it's just not genuine. And in that process, you can't hurt somebody and collect spiritual debt. So just to summarize how everything is folding from last week to this week, that's how some people can incur spiritual debt, because you hurt someone during the process to protect your own healing or to get over your own pain and conceal it where you don't have to sit with it and heal alone. Once you're done healing, because there was a rebound, that's not something that you probably genuinely wanted to be in the first place. So it don't last long. And if it do, it's probably obstacles in that situation during a few years that you're together with that person. And I'm not talking about anyone. I've been a rebound plenty of times in relationships, but me personally, I don't do that. I don't rebound people. I like to handle a lot of my healing alone by myself. So for me, how I handle healing in a positive way is just elevating myself, working out, learning a new skill to keep my mental going, and traveling. I love traveling. So I love seeing the world, and I do all of those things without bothering anyone, hurting anyone, but I use it and I turn my pain into power by just learning new things and doing everything that I need to do alone. And I know some of you guys may say, well, you know what? Life is short. You shouldn't have to go through certain things alone. I agree. I'm not necessarily alone. I'm good with my own company and I have family. So a lot of times people think that you have to get into an intimate relationship. Technically, I have family, friends around me, and I love my own company. So that's how I heal. I don't do rebounds. But it's not to judge other people, because not everyone is at that spiritual level yet to be able to handle so much pain in this world where being alone to them is just too much. There's a lot of people that have suicidal reactions to life. So not everyone can handle a lot of grief, losses, and the pain. So do whatever you need to do for you to heal. But I'm just saying that if you really want to love yourself, if you really want to grow, I think finding certain ways and challenges to do it alone. And then when you find great people on that path, on that journey, that's great. That's awesome. People that are also in the same boat where they can help and lift you up. Cool. But to intentionally use people for your own comfort and for your own gain is wrong. But people have done that to me. And hey, listen, I didn't feel bad about it. I was hurt about it, but I'm like, once I found out, then it is what it is. This is life. It's all part of life. More power to them. But then I'm pretty sure they collected a spiritual debt. And of course, I collected this spiritual debt for not having that right discernment that, hey, this person is using you. They're not a good person in alignment with you. But yeah, you continue to be in that relationship knowing that they wasn't in the right balance. So we all got karma. We all got spiritual debt. So I got mine. They got theirs. But I don't intentionally use people. So I need you all to know, whatever you do in this lifetime, be okay with it. Whether you feel like other people agree with you or not, who cares what other people say? Who cares what other people think? It's all about what you feel in your heart, on what you feel is the right thing to do. If they feel like that's wrong, this is your life. Be okay with it though. So you feel like you went out here and you intentionally used someone. Clearly you made that decision based on right or wrong, based on a choice. So, hey, you have to live with that choice. We have to live with the decisions that we make in this lifetime, because guess what? That's how you learn. Had you not went left, learned that that situation wasn't really a good balance for you, it probably would have never taught you the lesson that you need to learn in this lifetime to elevate and grow in the first place. So that's why you should allow people to fall off that bike, get their hand burned, because stop telling people what to do. Allow them to experience their spiritual lessons in this lifetime. And spiritually, the reason why I think it's really good to, and I commend people that heal alone and able to deal with the life adversities and bounce back with resilience, go through the fire and come out like a phoenix. I really commend you all, because it's not easy. A lot of people can't sit with themselves. A lot of people don't really know themselves. It's very powerful. Once you can accomplish self-love, healing on your own, there's nothing in this life that can touch you. There's nothing in this life that can harm you, because you've already been through the fire. You've already healed without having a lot of people around you. Don't think of it as like, you know how like family and friends say, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You don't have to battle it alone. But at the end of the day, certain things we do have to deal with certain stuff in life alone. Long as you're doing it with great intentions. I have my family. I have a great family support system. My mom was a very great support system. But of course, losing my mom, that was an anchor that I lost. But what that is also teaching me is that everything that I've learned all the way up until now, that I can survive. I'm very strong. I have never had to use anybody to get through my healing. I'm using all those lessons that my mother had taught me. And I'm able to see throughout life, I've never crossed anybody. I've dealt with ups and downs, whether that be jobs, relationships, or just life adversities. And I never had to pull or drag somebody into my stuff. My mom was there to say, listen, you're going to get through this challenge. And that made me a stronger person to be able to say, you're right, I can get through this without having to use anybody or lean on anyone as a crutch. Now, I know some of y'all probably listening to this, we're in this lifetime because that's what the world is for. We're all people here to be able to converse and really help us through life challenges. So yes, that is the difference between using somebody in a positive light versus using them in a negative light. If I know that I'm healing and going through something, I don't want outside forces to help me with that task. I want to be able to do that task on my own, to say, look, I went through it, I got through it. And at the end of that rainbow, guess what? It's a tribe of people just like me clapping for me. Oh my God, you did it. And you did it without us. You did it without your mom. You did it without family. Even though you had family, you had your mom. My mom has passed, but at the time I had these great people, but I did all of it on my own without using anyone. I feel good about that. That makes me feel really good as a person, because what life is teaching me is that the more that you do things in life dependent on other people without at least trying it on your own first, it's showing you that, hey, life is temporary. People come and go in life, whether that be friendships through life or grief or death, whatever. It's showing you that live your life in the moment, live your life in the now. Do not use people. Be able to handle challenges on your own, but just know that you have people in your corner rooting for you. And you can look back and say, wow, I got through this first on my own. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just part of my personality, and that's okay. But I could tell you that I really feel good about handling life adversity without having many people to help me with it. But knowing that if I needed to, I have great people that is willing to help me within an instance. No problem. No questions asked. And I really challenge you guys, whatever it is that you're going through in life, to really try to do it and really look at yourself with self-love, that you could do it on your own. Because let me tell you something, when it's just you in that room, how are you going to be able to handle that task? Because you haven't been through it by yourself. You're too busy using other people as a rebound, as a crutch. Let's say if that relationship ends, how do you handle adversity? If that job ends, how are you able to bounce back without leaning on someone else? If something else ends, are you able as a person, as an individual, to say plan B, plan C, think quick on your feet? You know what I mean? So that's why I challenge you guys to really look at your surroundings and make sure whatever you're doing in life, you're not using someone to get ahead. You're not using someone as a clutch. You're not using someone as a rebound. Because let me tell you something, when life hits you and that person is no longer around, how are you able to handle that task alone? And think about it in school. Remember how we had group projects, right? When we're in school, guess what? As individuals, we know how to do the assignment by ourselves. The purpose of doing an individual project is to show how do you survive in the world by yourself. And also, hey, how do you get along with people? How are you able to collaborate as a collective? So I think it's teaching you both ways, how to survive with people and collaborate, and also take a step back. How do I handle this adversity by myself alone? I think God gives us challenges in life to say, listen, you're going to be somebody great in life, but I have to put you through certain fires to see how can you handle the flame by building your character up as an individual. Because what I need you to do 5 years from now requires you to have that strong willpower. Get rid of all the false illusions so that I can build you up to be this great leader. If you don't know how to, like, let's say, handle certain tasks alone, how do you know that you're that person that you need to be 5 or 10 years from now? I don't think it's authentic, because you got to where you are at by using people, by always having people around you, by always jumping in a rebound, by always, you see where I'm going with this? And I'm not saying that it's a good or a bad thing, but what I am saying is that be careful with that, because life to me is about a balance. It's being able to say, listen, I got through adversity alone, but now at this part of my life, I don't mind using rebounds. I don't mind using other people. Not when I say using other people, don't think of it as a bad way, but I don't mind like using my tribe or other people, because I've been there, done that. That's the difference. At least you could say you did it, you've tried it, you don't like it, and you are better off in rebounds. You are better off in group settings. You are better off, using your resources in a positive way, versus somebody who's never done it at all. This is for you. You ain't never done it. So try something different in life. If you've never in your life been alone, never in your life tried a task by yourself, I recommend you do something that you've never done, because you are using your gifts, using your resources in a negative way. You're scared of something. Like, why are you afraid to do this alone? Why are you afraid to take that risk alone? Why are you afraid to just step out there alone without, like, take all that away? When I say take all that away, I'm talking about take it away. What can you do by yourself? What can you do on your own 2 feet? Have that balance. Like, look, I know how to do it on my own 2 feet, and I know how to do it in a group setting, and I have my tribe. So this week is very heavily about healing. It's about loss. It's about grief, but it's also about using your resources and not using your resources, using your own resources versus using other people's resources. So I think that's very important. That's very important in the healing process. But this is a hard task in life. Not everyone can do this by themselves. Not everyone is able to say, listen, I need people around me. I can't handle this by myself. And so the hardest part too about life is that everyone is different when it comes to, let's say, when you do get to that point where you have to deal with, let's say, something traumatic like grief or loss. And throughout your whole lifetime, you've always had a strong support system, and you've never stepped out on your own, never tried to do anything as an individual. Life happens, and this is just preparing you for that what ifs. When your support system and your anchor is taken away, how do you handle the next phase of your life? How do you handle being alone and sitting with yourself and really getting to know who you are in this lifetime? What is your next chapter of your life? Who are you after everything is said and gone? So that's why I think it's important piggybacking off of last week when I mentioned a rebound and just inputting that into this week's topic, it's okay to have rebounds, long as you know that whatever you are doing in this lifetime, you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to live with that. And this is your life. Nobody can tell you what to do. If you're comfortable with that, it is what it is. I'm just telling you that, what if it comes a point in your life when all of that is gone and all of that is taken away? You don't even have the skills or the resources to survive as an individual. And vice versa, those who have always done everything alone in life, I'm going to say the same thing for you. Be able to lean on other people, be able to step outside of your box of being alone and know that there's people, family, friends that do have your back. They are in your corner and they are here to help elevate you in your next chapter of life. So it's all about having that balance. Be able to sit with yourself alone and be able to allow people to come into your space. Don't always be that person that loves being alone either. That's not a good thing either. I think having a balance is a good thing. Having that duality. Okay. This week we have two cards that play into what we're talking about. Beautiful cards. Come to the edge and clean it up. And I'm going to go more into depth on what these cards represent for our topic of healing and grief, and really just being able to love yourself. Because guess what? The more you love yourself, the more life is going to be beautiful for you. You're going to be able to practice discernment. You're going to be able to pick and choose the right people, the right tribe that is coming in and out of your life. And you're not going to accept BS. You're not going to accept people once you get to that certain state of your life. You're going to be able to people are not going to be able to use you. So that's why I feel like going through the fire alone and really, really practice on healing and self-healing without using someone. Because let me tell y'all something. People heal and they use people in rebounds as a bandaid. What happens with a bandaid is you put a bandaid on, it doesn't take care of what's under the bandaid. It doesn't heal the wound. You just patch a Band-Aid on there without cleaning it, without putting ointment on it. No, that's not the right way to really properly heal, because once that person is gone, it's like throughout your life, you're going to always have to have people to fill a void. And I think that's using someone. You're going to always need someone. You're going to always have to have someone, to fill that void. And once that goes away, it's like, is this relationship genuine? Is this person really someone that's right in alignment with me? Imagine your whole life into your 70s and 80s, always jumping in and out of something and never truly knowing who yourself is. Like, how do you reach self-mastery, spirituality, and you don't even know who you are and how powerful a person that you are on your own? You haven't even sat with yourself to really dig deep and say, I'm powerful. And now I'm able to bring in the tribe, and we're all powerful people, but you got to know yourself. And if you have all these rebounds jumping in and out, who are you for real? To get long with it, we have come to the edge. This is very powerful. Come to the edge, and it has beautiful hearts. What is this representing spiritually and from a spiritual message? Is basically saying that take a risk. Okay. Don't be afraid to come to the edge and jump, because if you go to the edge and you take a risk and jump, you may just find that you could fly, right? You didn't know that you could fly, but you were so afraid to like take that leap of faith and really try to put yourself out there, drop the illusions of saying that I can't do this alone. I can't do this without XYZ. Yes, you can. You never tried. If you don't come to the edge and try or take risks in life, you will never know that you could do it all alone in the first place, but you just never tried to do it because of fear or whatever was getting in your way. So come to the edge, take a risk, and just really, you will learn that you can fly. Okay. And then clean it up. Clean it up is basically saying, listen, in life, we have our own things that we need to work on. But for those who have savior complexes, we feel like we need to clean up others' sidewalks as well. Let me clean this up. Let me, bring everybody into my fold. Let me do this. Let me do that. Sometimes in life, it's okay to take a step back and say, allow other people to clean their side of the sidewalk. Focus on yours. Clean your stuff up. Clean out the old. Whatever that's not meant to be there. It's just time to really let that go and clean it up. But also don't focus on other people's sidewalks, because we're not here to save everyone who don't want to be saved. And sometimes in life, if you're overstressing about other people's grass, you're not worried about your own grass, it's going to stress you out. So start with yourself. Start with cleaning up your own mess, clearing out all that negative energy, whatever it is that you need to clean up. Focus on that, but don't focus on other people's trash. That's not what we're doing. And then really taking that risk and come to the edge and really, allow your spiritual guides to guide you, and don't be afraid to just step out there. So to wrap it up this week, thank you guys for visiting the channel. I know I kind of sound a little different. I'm just getting over a cold. But everyone take care of yourself out there, and just remember that healing is not an easy journey. Be okay with whatever decisions that you make in this lifetime, but just know that I promise you, if you can learn to heal alone, you're going to be a powerful person, because nobody can come in and tell you anything. Okay? Love y'all.